In the last lecture, you learned that how you can display nearest taco store based on your current location. But what I really want to do is when we look at these different taco stores and I tap on one of these markers, it should show me some details about the taco location. The name of the taco location, probably the address of the taco location, maybe hours, link to their website if there's anything. And maybe in the future we can also add directions or how far it is. So how can we do that? Well, we'll go to our ChatGPT and we'll just continue where we left off. So I'm going to say when I tap on a marker for taco location, I want to see a sheet showing information about the location like name, address, how far is it from me, website, hours of operation, and other details. I don't think it matters if I spell it wrong, but there we go. So let's see what it does. All right, so it's typing the same code again, which is basically our content view, location manager. Now, keep in mind that we have actually changed this stuff. So let me actually stop it right there. All right, because a lot of things we actually changed, like the state object, we're just calling it state. The location manager is no longer using published properties or observable object. So let me actually give it all of this code. I'm going to copy this code, the current code that we have, add that feature to the following code. So maybe it can just add it over there instead of just recreating the whole thing again. All right. Okay. All right. So that's actually pretty good. You can already see that it's learning, and I told it to add it to the current code. So it's using the state which I have defined. So this is all fine. And here is our location detail view, observable. That's pretty good. So it didn't really change that. That's a good sign. It also did not really change and call it taco places. It's just calling it places. That's also good. Everything else is fine. And let's see, what is the location detail view look like? Okay, so in the location detail view, it's displaying the place name, subheadline, calculating the distance, website if it has a website, some phone number. Okay, let's go ahead and copy this, and we'll be able to see what it does. So location over here is a let constant, so somehow it's actually setting it somewhere else. All right, so where are we? We are inside location manager. We should be able to say probably self.location because we are assigning it to the other location. And then it has some other issues going on. It's saying value of type map marker has no member on tap gesture. Does it? Like if I say on tap gesture, it doesn't have that. So how can we fix that problem, map marker? Is it called marker now? I mean, these things are constantly changing. So maybe it's actually called marker, so that is something we'll have to find out. If I say marker with coordinate and a label, okay, coordinate can be place.coordinate, label can be whatever we want to display, like maybe a text or something. And does that have on-tap gesture? Well, I guess it doesn't even have that. All right. So let's see how we can fix this issue. I'm going to copy this. All right. And for this code, I get, let's see if we can get there. Kind of hard to select this. There we go. See, it's not always going to be right. You have to jump in and fix these things. So again, it's typing for some reason the whole thing. It's using the map annotation now, all right? And you will see that maybe the map annotation is also deprecated. So we'll have to think about using that. But that is something in the future we can fix. Apart from that, it's kind of like writing the same exact code with just that small change. So all of this code should be similar. And if we get any issues with this code, we can always fix it. All right, so let's copy the code. So we can already see it has problem with the map and map annotation. And still it's failing. Okay, so this will be self.location, this part. So now it has a problem with the URL. Placemark has no URL. So let's see what placemark has. Yeah, it does not really have a URL. So we can't really use that part. I'm not sure what else we can use. So probably we will not really have that. And it says that the placemark does not have a phone number. That's interesting because I thought that it does have the phone number. It does have a postal code, but not the phone number. So we can remove these two things for now. And obviously, if we remove it, we will have to initialize something to those things. So we can just initialize it to be nil, just so that it at least builds successfully. All right. Let's go ahead and run it. Okay, find nearest taco store. So that still works. Nearest taco store, that's good. I can go ahead and click on that, and there we go. You can see that it shows me a modal. It's showing me the address, which is Sunnyvale, whatever, and the distance, 2.67 kilometers away. I don't really want the distance to be in kilometers. All right. So probably we can just use that. Copy. Make sure the calculated distance is based on user's locale. Okay. So it's going to rewrite this function again, and it probably is going to make sure that it is conforming to the locale. So this means that if I am in US, which I am, then it should be using miles. And if I am in some other place, then it should be using according to those places. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, so now it's not even calculating. So it's just saying 0 kilometer away. All right. So 0 kilometer away. Let's see what's going on over here. Calculate distance. We're getting the user location. Right, let's go back a little bit. Oh, let's go back over here. So this is the function that is a helper function that is converting to kilometers, right? Let's tell it to convert it to miles first. All right. Convert distance to miles. All right. But now this is always going to give you the distance in miles. So I'm going to go ahead and copy. And obviously this function, you probably want this function to be somewhere else, not inside the location detail view, so that you can use it somewhere else also. Okay, so 1.72, I think it's just showing you km because we are hard coding these things. Right now I can just say miles away. All right. Let's copy that. Let's see if it can figure it out. Make sure the distance is displayed based on the user's locale. So it's always right now going to say miles. So if you're in a different part of the world, you don't really want to, see it in miles because because you're more familiar with kilometers. All right. So let's see what's going on over here. Calculate distance. Okay, so it has changed the formula a little bit over here. Calculate distance, and then it says distance away. And what are we going to return? So the distance over here is returning. So we have to copy this part. I guess it's kind of like the old one that it implemented before, this one. And we are doing that. Let's go ahead and change that a little bit. We'll just say copy this part for the distance. Copy everything, Control I, just to format it nicely. And we'll be able to see nearest tacos miles away. Great. So you can see 2.07 miles away. I can go ahead and click over here and I can get more information. Nice. Okay, so this is pretty cool because we are able to do that. Now, the other thing that we want to do is we want to see that how can we get there, right? I mean, right now, if I tap on any of these things, it says Super Burrito, address is this one, but distance is 1.86 miles away. But how do I get there, right? I mean, how do I open Google Maps and get there, or Apple Maps or Waze, things like that, and how do I get there? So that is something we're going to learn in the next lecture.